All right, welcome back to the Roasting Yourself podcast brought to you by Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop. My name is Stephen Burnett with Coffee Bean Corral in Jackson, Mississippi. And with me, as always, is Catherine Mansell, Certified Q Grader and Director of Current Crop Roasting Shop in New Orleans, Louisiana. Catherine, what is going on today?
Oh, today, lots of meetings. I'm about to schedule my very first virtual class for people to sign up for
Ooh,
at Current Crop,
very-
Intro to Varietals. So getting everything
virtual
ready for that.
varietals.
Yes.
It
Uh,
sounds like a category. It sounds like a category on what is it? Jeopardy.
yeah,
Virtual varietals.
yeah, yeah. I would love that category. I would love it.
I love it. Awesome, awesome. Well,
So,
that is super cool. So when can we expect that? When can we expect that? How do people get it?
it'll go out in the newsletter in August, probably in this next week, and it'll have a link to register for the class.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
what we should do then is go to currentcroproasting.com,
Mm-hmm.
right? And sign up for the newsletter so that you can be notified about how to take this virtual class. Maybe you
Yeah.
can't travel all the way to New Orleans on the drop of a hat as many times as you want to
Yeah.
take this class, and now you can do it online on Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
like we do absolutely everything now.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to look at another three-dimensional person in your life if you don't want to. And we're part of that now.
Right.
Besides all of that, each week we set aside about 10 minutes to field questions from home coffee roasters and professionals alike about roasting, tasting, and most importantly, enjoying coffee. You can send your questions to questions@riypod.com. That's questions@riypod.com to get a nice shout out from us in an upcoming episode, and of course, to get your question answered. This week's question is from Brian T., who asks, "Hello, I buy my green coffee beans from a local roaster. However, I can't seem to buy the same beans consistently from the same origin or farm. Are there any beans that you can get consistently? It's nice to have a lot of variety, but it's also nice to have some consistency. So even if I can't get the same beans from the same place, are there places that share similar flavor notes, bean densities, etc.? I really enjoy your content. Thanks so much for your help, Brian T." Well, Brian, thank you for that compliment there. And thank you for teeing up what is sure to be an 8-minute commercial for a Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Catherine, what
I
was your
love
initial?
this. I
It's
love
a great
this.
question. What is
Yeah.
your initial thought when you read that?
That is what Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop do.
Yeah,
We have almost 80 coffees here in the shop. Coffee Bean Corral at any point of the year can have anywhere between 130 to 140 different coffees. But the biggest thing that both companies do, out of all of those choices that you can make, at least 75% of them have been from the same farm, same process every single year. The goal is to make sure that we stay consistent so you can stay consistent, whether it's your cup of coffee in the morning that you're making for yourself or a business that you run. The goal is that we try to stay as consistent as possible, because there's nothing like going to a cafe or finding your number one coffee and then not being able to get it again. Um, so it's different here in New Orleans, only because we have a little micro lot section where you may not ever get that coffee again, but you can try it. But the majority of coffees that both companies have, these are relationships that we've had for a long time. These are farms, producers, importers, exporters, traders that we've worked with since the early 90s. You came to the right place. You
you
can
did.
stay as
You did.
consistent as possible with both of these companies.
And that's something that we get a lot of questions about, because you'll see with some of our competitors, you'll see them have a bunch of coffees in stock and really nothing out of stock.
Yeah.
And you come to our website and you see this out of stock, that's out of stock. What's going on? Why can they keep coffees in stock and you guys are out of this or out of that? Well, the reason for that is that our competitors are cycling through coffees. So as soon as they run out of one, bye bye. We'll get something else. And so they're always in stock on everything they've got, or most everything they've got, because they're swapping coffees in and out all the time.
Yeah.
And we made a conscious decision to stick with winners, to stick with ones that are good, where the farms are producing a good product ethically, they're doing what they're doing, and we stick with those guys. So that means sometimes you guys really like a coffee and it's sold out, it's gone, and it'll be back in a few weeks or maybe a couple of months, right? That's typically how these things go. So
Yeah.
that's a trade-off, but it's one we made consciously because we want people to be able, once you've dialed that roast in, which by the way, that's its own chore. People spend a lot of time in R&D and figuring out their roast, and we want you to be able to dial that roast in and then maybe tweak it when the new lot comes out this
Yeah.
next year. That's what we want. We don't want you to dial it in, make it sweet, make it perfect, run out, and now that coffee's not available anymore.
Yeah.
So it's
And
just a conscious decision that we made as opposed to the other ways of doing business. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And most of the time, if we go through an entire contract and we're waiting for the new crop to come in, most of the time we're able to find something either in our own inventory or bring something in that's
Yeah.
similar, so people don't have to completely change things up. So really, with all of the buying that we're doing at both companies, the goal is true consistency for everybody.
Yes. And two more things I want to say. One is a very helpful tool because you asked a question about coffees with similar attributes. We literally built a tool that is totally unique in our industry called the Coffee Bean Matrix. And we don't talk enough about it, and I don't think enough people know about it. When people call in and ask me what coffee would be a good replacement for this one, or what coffee has these attributes, I go to our homepage, click the Coffee Bean Matrix thing, and enter the information that they have. You can enter in, processing type, origin, flavors. I want a very bright coffee with very low earthiness, or I want a very fruity coffee with very high chocolate notes.
Yeah.
You can literally dial these things in and customize a list of coffees that's going to be exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so this is a tool that's on our Coffee Bean Corral website and our Rancher Wholesale site. So you can literally log in, or just not even log in, get to the page, click Matrix at the top of the screen, and then make your selections. What do I want? What am I looking for? What's important to me?
Yeah.
And you can do that on the Coffee Bean Matrix. So that's a super helpful tool.
Yeah.
Also, if a coffee is out of stock, we added this one more recently, pulling from those same matrix numbers automatically. If you scroll down on the coffee page that you're wanting, you can see similar coffees,
Mm-hmm.
coffees that have similar attributes. It's not all the same attributes,
Yeah.
but it's similar on the key ones, like chocolatiness, fruitiness, sweetness, brightness, all that kind of stuff. It's based on that, and we made some we've tooled with it a little bit to make it better. But yeah, it'll give you recommendations right there for coffees that are similar to what you like. So that's already built in.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to say here is that if you Brian, you're buying coffee from a local roaster who always has different coffee, maybe that guy's looking for some consistency. And if he's looking for some consistency, he should definitely call us and talk about our Rancher Wholesale subscription. Rancher Wholesale is our wholesale arm of Coffee Bean Corral. Same coffees, but cheaper prices for people that buy in large bulk. And so, if your friend that roasts coffee in town is looking for a few, maybe he wants to keep some like wild stuff every now and then, but he wants some consistent winners. Have him give us a call because we'd be happy to talk to him. And if any of you listeners are coffee roasters trying to get into the coffee roasting business, you should definitely call us and talk to us about Rancher Wholesale.
Yeah.
It's a great program, same coffees, cheaper prices, free samples. It's wonderful for people that are in the business and that are buying in large quantities. So that is all I've got to say. Man, Brian, we should like pay you a commission or something for just teeing up an amazing let us brag on ourselves for a minute. Let us do it. Thank you, Brian. This is absolutely wonderful. Catherine, is it possible we left something out? Did we not sing our praises enough today?
I think we nailed it.
I think we did. I think we did. Well, in that case, listeners, just pile it on. Okay, hop in the comments and tell us how great Coffee Bean Corral is. Tell us about your favorite coffees, the one that are consistent year after year, the ones that you like. Go, man, that's the coffee I get. That's my A1 number one go getter. Tell us what those coffees are. Offer some recommendations for some of your favorites, things that have come in that are new, because we get new coffees all the time. But again, we try and focus on those consistent year over year relationships. put those in the comments, put those in the show notes. And if you have if you have a business, or if you know people that have a roasting business, tag them in the post, let them see this, and so they can hear us talk about what makes Coffee Bean Corral unique and what makes it special. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. And if you did, please leave us a rating and review on whatever platform you found us on. We're excited to watch the Roast Yourself podcast grow and expand and reach more people. And we can't do that without you sharing and liking and all that stuff. So thanks so much for doing that. We also could not do it without the folks who handle our audio and video, graphic work for the podcast to make us look and sound good. Thank you for all you do for us in making this possible. We really could not do this without you either. Remember, dear listener, to send any questions you have about coffee in general or coffee roasting in particular to questions@riypod.com. That's questions@riypod.com. Otherwise, have a great day and happy roasting.
Thank you, Brian.